Hello beautiful people. I'm very glad that you guys joined me in yet another progression video. It has been 3 years since I started beatboxing. It's probably the most fun thing I've ever done in my life, like grind wise, having the ability to meet all these people that share the same hobby as I do, and honestly it's been a great journey thus far, and I want to give back the thing I lacked most at the beginning, which was general direction of where my skills are going if I keep practicing a certain way. I wanted a good reference, and this is that reference made for you guys. This is my 3rd year of beatboxing video. I've completed 3 years and this is the level where I'm at, and I will explain to you in this video how I got there. First, I would like you guys to enjoy a routine I made at the beginning of this year and see my progression thus far. So hello my beautiful beatbox viewers. I went to a different room where there's a little bit less of an echoey acoustic, and I will perform a routine for you guys that I made at the beginning of this year. Oh, I don't see no troubles in my near future, oh, 'cause I've experienced them all. I don't see no troubles in my near future, oh, 'cause I've experienced them all. Holy moly, isn't this guy fantastic? That was amazing beatboxing, if I say so myself. Let's kick this video off with the explanation of why I didn't create more content like I was supposed to, and I promised you guys in the last video. So I had a very chaotic year with not a lot of time available, and that's why I didn't upload the routines like I was going to after the DBB from last year. I do have the intention still to like create a lot of content, and I really want to get something going. So this is the only thing I've been doing consistent thus far, and I still want to create more, and I will in the future, but I will have to create the time to do that, because I don't have it right now. So let's start off with the actual journey I made to get to this point. So I'm going to divide this video in 4 sections. I want to talk about the first 3 months, I want to talk about the 3 months after that, then I want to talk about some big revelations I had, and about the last 2 months up until the 3-year point. So the first one is I did a lot of routine writing for the next beatbox battle, Dutch beatbox battle we had in the Netherlands, which is always in September, and I reached my year point, like year of beatboxing, June the 18th. That's when I started 3 years ago. So I had like 3 months, June, July, August, to train for like DBB. So that's when I did a lot of routine writing. I did a battle in between, and during that battle and like the DBB itself, I had this like understanding that my skills were not up to par yet. It's important to note that even though I didn't reach my top 8 goal as I once discussed in a video, it's okay, because now I have a more clear understanding of how to actually get there, and like by being really critical or like criticizing my own mistakes and style and things I did, and watching other really good beatboxers, I really figured out like what was missing, and I still actually made a lot of progress working towards the top 8 goal. So if you ever have a goal and you won't make it, don't worry, just keep working, keep yourself open to criticism. Don't always listen to people. Some people are very toxic. It's a very toxic scene, so don't take everybody's opinion to heart. But if someone says something that you can feel and you can really like tell that it might be an issue, then really listen to it and like figure out a way to get it better. So that's my first lesson and like progression that I use to get even better, that I also want to share with you guys to incorporate into your own beatboxing. So the second part of my beatboxing journey was after DBB, this beatbox battle, where I realized I was not up to par yet, and I really needed to get invested into beatboxing again and like find a way to get myself to that next level. So what I did, I contacted a lot of beatboxers that are well known or either becoming well known, and I tried asking advice like what am I doing wrong, what could I do better, do you have tips for me? And two major things happened. I got some great advice from SVM, which is the now ruling champion of the Dutch people for this year, and he gave me advice on like shortening my basics, and he would say like, yeah, your basic sounds a little bit like it's too long and it sounds a little bit unclean, so really work on getting that snappy and shorter, and making sure that your basics are up to par for basically being a top 8 competitor. And that's what I did for like 3 months. I really took that to heart, and I worked on those really hard, and I think that's obviously a little bit of like natural progression. Like I cannot force my inward K snare to sound like someone who's been beatboxing for 7 years, but I can practice it that I would reach that 7-year point before someone who's been casually beatboxing for 7 years. So that's basically what I did. I would try more beats at different BPMs, would try and speed up, get them shorter. So it would just be, and I would just do beats like that and get it sharp and short and fast, and I would experiment, try to get more drum kicks in there, more snares, more hi-hats, get it faster and get it clean, or whatever. And I would work really hard on that for 3 months. In those 3 months I also contacted Benja, who luckily wanted to meet up with me once a week, and where we did like a session of 2 hours where we just trained together. He wanted to get back into beatboxing, and he saw I was very motivated. I wanted to get better, and I thought to myself, I can really use the advice of someone this good, who has already once taken a Dutch championship title, and he was really kind and really helpful to me. So the lessons I really took from him were performance-wise, like truly when you're performing, like truly be the person when you're alone, like you're performing for yourself. Don't take the outward world into account when you're performing. And yeah, like his professional way of like performing and thinking about stuff really helped me out. So that's the way I progressed my beatboxing, which was really contacting a lot of beatboxers. As long as you're really hyped, there's a lot of people that are willing to help you, even on the higher level beatboxing group, which is a little less toxic than the Discord advice you would usually get. So yeah, so when you want to get to a certain level, finding people that are already there or beyond that level is definitely something you should consider doing. It worked really well for me. So part 3 is a combination of two things. The first thing is I had one lesson with collabs because I took lessons with Dilo, but I decided to, and he went on like vacation or whatever, and I decided to take a lesson with collabs. He had one Patreon spot available, so I just took that one lesson, and he wanted to teach me some hi-hat patterns, and he said something along the line of your hi-hat patterns should sound like hi-hats, and it was such a big revelation to me. Like when I'm beatboxing, I'm so fixated on getting sounds as powerful and loud out there as possible, which is obviously something very good, and I've had a lot of benefits from that as well. I'm almost always one of the most powerful beatboxers at an event, just for doing that the first few years, like not the cleanest but powerful, and I always train like that, and that will help me eventually. But it got me stuck as well, and this is something that Dilo said, aside from collapses call of that hi-hat patterns, he said you're so fixated on that power that like the dynamic of your tech roll of whatever goes a bit to waste, so it sounds less clean, sounds less nice. And I really got into that, and I worked on like making that sound more clean in the future. So instead of fixating so much on power, I would fixate more on the fluency and getting those sounds clean in there. So it wouldn't necessarily mean that if you, for example, have a I would go I need to, but I would more focus on like the fluency instead of and whilst that for you might not be an issue, for me that was a big issue, and it really helped me get more fluency into my beats. And since then I've leveled up like crazy. It's insane the how more speed I got, how easy it was for me to get like combinations and stuff in like beats, and that was a really important improvement. The fourth part is like in combination with the third part, and it was basically the 6 months up until the 3-year point. It was me creating beats for Dilo's lessons, because I told him I really struggled with creating beats, because I felt like when I am creating beats I am not progressing as much, which is bullshit, but I couldn't get it right in my head. Like I wanted to do everything as powerful as possible, I wanted to do everything as sharp, and you know, it really gets in the way. So I would create beats for his lessons, which is something I'm actually very decent at already. Like I used to do it back in the day, like in the first year I would try to do weird stuff just to get a little bit of like broadening the spectrum, but I got stuck for a little while, like focusing on the basics and everything, getting everything as sharp and so as possible. So I created a lot of beats, and that is when I created that beat that you saw, and I reached my first top 8, and battling actually got into the picture. So yeah, so I thought of a way to like practice this beat creation thing and like continue on that, expand my skills, and also make it that I can respond in battles, perhaps by freestyle, perhaps by adjusting routines, whatever. So what I did is, I'm going to show you, I made this, show my camera around for a second so I can see if I got it sharp for you guys. I created this board, and if you can see, the left row is like BPM from like 70, 140, so that's just double time. You can do those genres, like you can switch between those genres. Then I have like the first row, so that's a 1, that's a second row, that's a 2, that's a 3, you can't read it for me, but that's okay. And then you have like the first genre, which would be the most common genre used in like the beatbox scene. Then you would have the second row, which is like the second most used, and like the third one, which is not as popular, but you would see it sometimes. And I started like grinding those first two 70, 140, 80, 160, and really experimented with that. So I gotta be honest, guys, like that's the point where I'm at right now. Like I'm again going from June to September grinding beats, but this is what I'm going to keep doing after that. And I want every BPM, like every 10th BPM, I want to have some genres ready, so in the future I can respond to people, and that's something I really want to do. I want to expand a little bit on the beat creation as well, because the beat creation is not just like taking ideas, it's also a way to incorporate new sounds and try new and different things. So I have this bass. I like it so much, sounds beautiful to me. So I try to incorporate that, and I would work on that sound and like incorporate it into beats. Or this scratch, or this delos, like kind of squeak, or this laser, this combo. I would take these things and like try and incorporate them into beats. So for example, I would do an entirely different genre than I'm used to, which is grime. It's something I did actually for the basics grind, and I wouldn't necessarily do it for myself, for normal, usually the style of freestyling, but I would go and I would like incorporate these new sounds into them, which really helped me like use a lot more sounds. And so that's something I really would advise you guys to experiment with as well, and like familiarize, blah blah, you know what I mean, with different genres, with different BPMs, and really get comfortable switching between them, doing different things. Like a style is okay, but a style is not just a couple of sounds you use at every BPM. Like you're trying to become not just someone who's good at battles, that you're trying to become someone that is an artist, a musician perhaps, then these are the ways to really get there. And the versatility and the being this diverse will make sure that you can get more creative beats in things you have been stuck on or very good at since the beginning. So let's say I use a lot of trap and hip hop, always did that. Maybe if I do jungle, or I do hardcore, or I do drill or garage, all these different styles, maybe I can get my trap and hip hop very interesting with like combinations and things I use in there. So guys, thank you for watching yet another video of my progression. I hope you guys enjoyed it, that you learned from it, that you can measure your own skills and look in the differences and the common things we have, and like really see how you might improve yourself and your own skills. And I hope it really worked out for you guys. Please follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post a lot more stuff on there. It's Yuri214 as well. Please consider leaving a like, subscribing, commenting what you want to see, what you want me to do. I will consider all these things. I will respond to you. I will help you. And thank you for watching. Bye bye guys.